All right, people. We're just gonna get into the game. We're not gonna waste no time. But there's definitely a lot to talk about. But here's the thing. I'm just gonna be quick with this one. Then we can make a separate video some other day. I don't know, or we can talk about it maybe. I don't know. Somewhere. I don't know. Someday, ever, whatever. Now, I'm so convinced, yeah, that Chelsea players are just in their homes with their misses, and they're just talking. You know what? There've been so many games, from last season in the national breaks. Then we went to the Club World Cup, and then we won it, and then we came back to England, and most of our players are injured. The first team players, you're talking about Cole Palmer, Colwill, the list Esugo, the list goes on and on, Delep. And then they're thinking, all right, this means there's more game time for us. Now, these players are just here just getting, for the coach not to play them, they're just thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna get a red card. So that's why I am so convinced that Chelsea players are literally getting red cards on purpose. Like, look at Malo Gusto today. He got a red card, right? But as a professional footballer, right? You're on yellow card. Now, if you do something stupid, what comes after? Another yellow card. So, as a professional footballer like Malo Gusto, he plays for International, he plays for Chelsea, big club. And you telling me you forget that you're on a yellow card. So you just said that you want to tackle the guy. Anyway, so that's why I'm so convinced that Chelsea players literally getting themselves these yellow cards. Now, let's move on to the game itself. Now, I don't even know. I don't understand. Even right now, don't get me wrong. I'm still celebrating the 3-0, right? I'm celebrating. We'll talk about that on why I'm really, really, really celebrating this win. Now, I don't understand how this is a 3-0. I don't get it. Because this should have been like 4-3 or 3-3 or 5-3 or 5-4. Because Nottingham Forest created so many chances they should have buried. So many, many chances they should have buried. First half, I think about 3 chances, 4 chances. Second half, I don't understand how the ball didn't pause. But I don't understand how the ball didn't go in with the Jesus, kind of opportunity. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Now, anyway, like I said, Chelsea 3, Nottingham Forest 0. I'm happy with this win because it was going to be so Chelsea that we won against Liverpool and then we go on to lose against Nottingham Forest. And my worry on that is Ange Postecoglou right now, he hasn't won a game with Nottingham Forest, and to imagine that Chelsea could potentially give him that win, that one was gonna kill me for sure. So we go on to obviously first half, but I want to talk about the lineup first. Now I understand that some of this lineup are more are being driven by the fact that 1 second. So I was saying some of this lineup that's coming, right? They're obviously a result of the injuries that Chelsea are going through right now. You look at even our midfield, we had Santos as a 10, Lavia and Gusto Sitas. Now, let me say one thing about this midfield. This midfield, the base, talking about this specific lineup. The starting lineup, by the way. So you're telling me that you have Estevao on the bench, a more creative player going forward, the one we are saying is a young Palmer, the one who can play as a 10, actually the one who prefers to play as a 10. And then you also have a guy, the same guy that you can use in both flanks. And you decided you wanted to play Andre Santos rather as a 10, and then Lavia and I wasn't even surprised Lavia and Gusto were playing as a defensive double pivot. However, seeing Santos as a 10 for me, it didn't sit right with me. But anyway, let's just say maybe you wanted to rest Estevao because of international football. So maybe that was your reason. But to me, that's why first half was dead. First half was literally dead. Yes, of course, we had some chances at the back end of that first half, but chances like the Santos chance, that one he could have buried that. Maybe João Pedro could have, I don't know, but we created enough, not enough, but we created some chances that we should have buried before even going to the second half. Now, for me, the game was already dead when when you play Santos as a 10, right? And then at the same time as all having Lavia, I wanna call out Lavia for a second. Actually, I wanna call out Lavia. Why do you always just want to be fit and available and actually turn up when we play Liverpool? I don't understand that. Last week he played a really good game. He came on as a substitute. He did what he had to do. He showed us signs of why we still believe in him, even if he's always in hospital or Chelsea medical facilities, because he's always injured. Today, I don't know what were you doing, Lavia. Look, I'm not trying to go hard on him, pause, but I'm just saying the way we know Lavia today was not the way he was playing today. I guess maybe because he was trying to be a 6 and a 10 at the same time, or maybe an 8. A 6 or an 8, or maybe or even a 10. Because when you have Santos as a 10, you don't really create as much. But even when he was playing from the back, Lavia, he was keep making mistakes. But yeah. So then we came to second half. Yeah. I would say first 15 minutes, I'm like, yeah, I got my Chelsea back. We are moving the ball fast. We are actually, making those line breaking passes. We are actually using our wingers. Neto is overlapping. Gittens is doing his thing, and then you've got number 10 Raw wasn't really sorted, but João Pedro was in and about. Dropping deep as usual. And obviously attack as usual. So now the game was kind of steady at that time. I want to say something before I forget. Caicedo. That midfield, it belongs to Caicedo. Listen. At this point, we are comparing the best in the world and some good average, midfielders like Declan Rice. Because when I think about this guy being put in the same conversation with the likes of Declan Rice, Tonali, and I'm not even saying these guys are not good. Tonali is a very good player, but Caicedo, different animal. So he came on and then he actually controlled that midfield. I mean, it was really good. Another thing I want to pinpoint as well is João Pedro. I don't know how many times I have to come on here and scream and scream and scream. João Pedro is a 10. João Pedro is a 10. João Pedro is a 10. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not an idiot. I know for sure that Dilep is injured, because if Dilep was there, João Pedro was probably going to be played as a 10 and then Dilep as a 9. But that's not really a full reason to be playing João Pedro week in and week out as a number 9 when you have a guy like McGill. And to be honest, I think McGill is actually a better number 9 than João Pedro. Now, don't misquote me. I didn't say João Pedro is less clinical than McGill. McGill is a striker. João Pedro is a false 9. And then McGill is what we call an out-and-out striker. Why? When you look at the movements João Pedro does on and off the ball, it's not so much attacking-minded. It's more... No. It's attacking-minded, but not so much striker attacking-wise or mindset. Every time João Pedro has to get the ball, he has to drop deep, which is fair. But when he drops deep to get the ball, to pass it to our players or other midfielders, like Caicedo, when they do the line breaking, there is no one, because João Pedro is off his box, is off his position, because he's not a natural number 9, right? Now, when you have someone like Guiu, every time you're looking to cross the ball, every time you're looking to put the line breaking passes, every time you look into using your striker, he's always in the box. Whether it ends up taking the shot or whether it ends up scoring or assisting, whatever it is, but he's always in the right place. And these are the type of, in certain type of situations, right? You need your strikers to be in position every time. Now, when you talk about João Pedro, right? João Pedro, use him as a 10. Let him drop deep, whatever, play alongside an 8, play. He can go to the wing and you need to give him more freedom. So my thing is, stop using or don't use João Pedro every time as a number 9. Some games you need McGill. And if I'm being honest with you, the game actually looked more pressing from the front only because of McGill. No, not only because of McGill, but part of it because McGill had actually come on, and you know he can be a dickhead. He's a shitbag anyway. What else do we need to talk about? Yeah, we'll talk about the red cards later more in deep, and we'll also talk about the fact that we have actually won a match, which I was worried about. You know, this time of the season, meaning we are, you know, considering the amount of injuries we're going through, the amount of, you know, international breaks and too many games we have to play, I don't actually care how we win these matches. Don't get me wrong. I will still come on here and say this player and that player and that player didn't have a good game. I'll say it. However, I'm saying as long as I win the matches, I'll say it, but I won't mind it. Why? Because there's just too many things happening right now. Too many international breaks. Now, we just played, I don't know how many games last season, the Club World Cup. Our players are tired. You know, they're fatigued. So, there's only so much I can milk. Oh, pause. I can milk. I did it again. There's only so much milk I can milk from a cow until it says, no. This is enough. So, yeah, I have to take it easy with my players, considering we just came from America. So, yeah, as long as I'm winning the matches, I don't really care about how we win them. You know, whether some people are saying we are becoming the new Arsenal because of the set pieces, I don't care. Give me set pieces. Make sure after every match, you are going home with 3 points, and we're good. Anyway, people, I'm just waffling at this point. Let me just get off this, and then I'll chat with you a bit later. Make sure you subscribe on the channel, and I'll see you later.